is, I have to diligently seek him.
Come on now.
I have to. Because he is faithful that promise. He is faithful that promise. So if I believe that he is, a diligent seeking of him has to take place. Has to. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at some people who diligently sought the Lord. Let's turn to Genesis 32. Genesis 32. Genesis 32, I'm going to start with verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. That man we believe is God. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed.
And has prevailed.
And has prevailed. So, by Jacob, and as he's giving us a physical example of a spiritual reality, that he is contending with God, saying, God will not let you go until you bless me. And that's the diligence that we have to have in seeking the Lord. I will not let you go until you bless me. And we see as a result of that diligence, something gave birth. Something gave birth. His name was changed from Jacob to Israel. Something gave birth out of that diligence.
Thank you, Lord.
I will not let you go until you bless me. Are we living our lives the same way? Are we living our lives the same way? I will not let you go, God, until I see you face to face. Let's look at another example. Genesis 22. I'm sorry, verse 2. And the Lord said, and he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. Now, if you know the story, Abraham wanted a son. And God blessed him supernaturally with Isaac. Now God is telling him to take the very thing which he loved and sacrifice it unto him. But because Abraham was a man of faith, he obeyed God anyway. He was diligent about obeying the voice of the Lord. No matter if it meant giving up the very thing in which he loved the most. So are we that diligent that we will give up the thing we love the most? For most of us, is our lives. Most of us still haven't gotten to the point where we have fully denied ourselves. So we still love this life. That's why we worry when bill time comes, when somebody gets sick, when we lose a family or loved one, because we still love this life. So that's why Jesus said you have to deny yourself and hate your life. Hate your life. That's the only way you can have great faith. Great faith.
Come on.
Jesus did all these things so that we can learn how to be free. That's why we have to hate this life. He said it. You lose this life. Deny yourself. If you want to be my disciple, be diligent about obeying my voice as Abraham did, willing to sacrifice his own son. the thing he loved the most. He finally got it. Now God said, give it to me. And Abraham moved. He moved. He was a man of great faith. He was a man of faith. Let's look at another example. Let's turn to Numbers 13. Start with verse 26. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. Now, of course, we know the Israelites were sent out to spy out the promised land. So this is the story. And they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey. And this is the fruit of it. They brought back fruit to show Moses. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of the Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. That's a declaration of faith. We believe that we can overcome this. There are giants in the land, other people getting scared, as we will read next in the next verse. But the men that went up with Caleb as well said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. For they are stronger than we. Caleb and Joshua realized that they had the power of God on their side. So even the other people walked by sight and not by faith. Joshua and Caleb walked by faith. And let's see what happens as a result of this. Let's go to the next chapter, 14. We'll start verse 22. And this is the Lord speaking. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now, he is 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had what? Another spirit, a spirit of faith, with him, and have followed me fully. Him will I bring into the land wherein to he went, and his seed shall possess it. And we can go down to verse 30 as well. Doubtless, whatever is not of faith is sin. Doubtless, you shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But doubtless you shall not come into the land. So out of at least 600,000 men that came from Egypt that were destined to go to the promised land, only 2 made it. 2 made it. That's out of just 600,000 men. Estimated around 2 million people. 600,000 men, 2 million people, only 2 people made it to the promised land. The rest died off in the wilderness because of doubt. Because of doubt, which is ultimately sin, if it's not of faith. So how does that apply to us today? Well, this again is a physical example for a spiritual reality. In Revelation, God has spoken to us the promise, which is eternal life, the new heaven and the new earth. But once we are saved or born again, God is actually extending us the invitation. Come and receive eternal life. So we're in the wilderness, pretty much a wilderness of sin, like they were in the wilderness of actual sin, to prove their faith. To prove their faith. So everything we're going now is proving our faith. so we can receive the promise.